How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of a platinum. Today, we've got another one from Elantry Games called The Flying Car, and you're looking at $2.50 on the PlayStation Store with all 4 major region stacks for PS4, no PS5 version for this one. This is a little arcadey game where you're rotating your flying car around this tunnel, avoiding any blocks that get in your way while you collect the numbered galaxies. How the galaxies are actually numbered is baffling to me. The vast majority of the time you'll get a galaxy that's a number you've already got, so actually trying to play the game feels like a Game Dev 101 lesson in how not to make a game. That being said, this game has the very easy difficulty option that exists in their other releases, so you won't have to actually worry about playing this. Trophy-wise, you've got 36 total, 35 silver and the platinum, and you've only got one goal here to turn the difficulty to very easy, start the game, and wait for all the trophies to pop. That's really all there is to it. All the galaxies will line up in front of you in their proper order, you'll grab them all in a few seconds, and you'll just have to wait for PlayStation's trophy system to catch up. Like I said earlier, with the very easy difficulty option on, you're going to get all the trophies as fast as possible, so it's only going to end up taking you about 20 to 30 seconds or so to get the platinum finished. It's going to take way longer for the trophy system to catch up, so don't expect to take very long with this one. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today, we've got another one from Erdem Sen called Pixicharm Astral Escape, and you're looking at only $1 on the PlayStation Store with only 2 stacks, 1 worldwide stack each for PS4 and PS5. This is a little arcadey auto runner where you're running down a track, jumping over spikes on the floor and spiky balls floating in the air, trying to collect as many gems as possible. You've only got one control here, X to jump, and you've got 5 lives to play around with before you get a game over and reset back to the start. You may remember another one of their releases, Pixicharm Darkwood Dash, that I covered on the channel, and this is basically the exact same game, but with a futuristic space theme rather than running through the woods. Trophy-wise, you've got 13 total, 1 silver, 11 gold, and the platinum, and you've only got one goal here to get to a cumulative total of 275 gems collected. You've only got 5 lives to go through per run, so try to make them count as much as possible, but like I said, it's a cumulative total that you need to get to so you can take all the runs you need to get there. This took me about 6 minutes or so to finish, and I'd expect you to take about that long as well. There's a few people who managed to get this finished in just under 5 minutes, but I figure anything under 10 is a pretty good time for this platinum, given that it's just a grind to 275 gems. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of a platinum. Today, we've got another one from Astral Games called Mystic Pathways, and you're looking at $5 cross-buy on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. The trophy and achievement lists for the base game are identical, so if you're on an Xbox, you can use this video to get your 1000 gamer score. This is another entry in their series of hex tile puzzle games, so if you remember my guides for any of those, you're going to find this one is very similar. You're a little fairy, you're using X to select pieces to swap and R2 and L2 to rotate, and you've got a hint system you can use with R1, all of which you're going to end up using to straighten out a path so your fairy can get to the altar at the end. Trophy-wise, you've got 24 total, 8 bronze, 7 silver, 8 gold, and the platinum, and you've got a few goals here, though the vast majority of the trophies are going to unlock while you finish the first 20 levels. The only trophies I think you might have to go out of your way for would be to use the shuffle system with L1 10 times, otherwise just follow along with the guide and you'll be good to go. If you use my guide exclusively and don't bother with the hint system at all, you'll have to use hints 10 times at some point, but that's just a quick grind. This took me the better part of a half hour to finish, but that's including a bunch of time for YouTube video purposes, so I figure you'll be able to cut your time down to somewhere around that 20-minute mark without much of an issue at all. There's a title update for this that'll get you to 2000 gamer score, but all the achievements are basically just more of a grind. You have to use 25 portals, collect 75 crystals, swap 75 pieces, rotate 20 pieces, all of which will probably unlock while playing through those first 20 levels, and activate 30 altars, which you can just grind out in whichever level you want, or just keep playing using the hint system to blow through the levels. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of platinum. Today we've got another one from Aphil Games called Fit and Fry, and you're looking at $5 cross-buy on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. The trophy and achievement lists for the base game are identical, so if you're on an Xbox, you can use this video to get your 1000 gamer score. This is another entry in their series of grid-based puzzle games where you're trying to fit all the pieces onto the board without any extra pieces or spaces left over. You may remember one of their previous releases that I covered on the channel, Legends Aligned, and this is basically the exact same game but with a food theme rather than tabletop miniatures. Trophy-wise, you've got 23 total, 7 bronze, 7 silver, 8 gold, and the platinum, and you've got a few goals here, though the vast majority of the trophies are going to unlock while you finish the first 25 levels. The rest of the trophies are going to depend on whether you want to just follow along with my guide or do it yourself. You have to finish 10 levels without using any hints or restarts, which you can just grind out in any level, use the restart function 10 times, and finish a level after 10 without using a hint or restart, with the rest of the trophies unlocking along your way to finishing level 25. This took me the better part of a half hour to finish, but that's going in completely blind without any kind of guide, so I figure you'll be able to cut your time down to somewhere around that 20-minute mark without much of an issue at all. There's a title update for this that'll get you to 2000 gamer score, but all the achievements are basically just more of a grind. You have to use hints and restart 20 times each and win 15 levels without using hints, all of which you can grind out whenever, and the rest of the achievements should unlock while playing without any issue. No running commentary for this one, but I'm going to leave timestamps down below for each of the levels, so all you have to do is follow along. Get those extra trophies that I mentioned out of the way while you work your way through, and you'll get this done in no time. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of platinum. Today we've got another one from Aristo Studio called Twist It, and you're looking at $1.50 on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. This does have auto pop, so once you finish the platinum on PS4, you can head into the PS5 version and get yourself a second platinum immediately. This is a little arcadey game where you're trying to spin a twisting branch back and forth, turning it left or right to avoid any obstacles that get in your way, trying to collect as many coins as possible along the way. If you try to turn the branch in a way that would have one of the obstacles hit you as it turns, you'll die and have to restart, but your coins collected and total score are both cumulative, so it's not a huge deal if you do. Trophy-wise, you've got 44 total, 28 bronze, 12 silver, 3 gold, and the platinum, and you've essentially only got 2 goals here to collect 50 total coins and get to a total score of 200 points. You're going to be using those coins to buy the first 3 unlockable characters at 10, 15, and 25 coins each, and it took me longer to grind out the coins than it did for me to get to a score of 200, though you might get luckier runs than I did. This took me about 4 minutes or so to finish, though I wouldn't be surprised if you'll be able to get your time down closer to that 3-minute mark without much of an issue, especially if you manage to get luckier runs than I did. Focus more on collecting coins than your score, as you'll get to 200 well before you get your 50th coin, and you'll be good to go. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Astral Games called The Jumping Bird, and you're looking at $2.50 on the PlayStation Store with only 4 stacks, as it's only on PS4, no PS5 version for this one. This is a little arcadey game where you're trying to fly your bird up higher as it changes colors, moving through the like-colored sections of whatever objects you come across and collecting the numbered diamonds along the way. You may remember a game I covered last September, Mushroom Colors by Zakeem, and this is essentially a carbon copy of that game, which is itself a copy of a mobile game. You're a bird instead of a mushroom in this one. The price is exactly the same per stack. The gameplay is exactly the same, down to the fact that you're collecting diamonds. And the only meaningful change is that if you wanted to play this normally, you would have to sit through the painfully annoying system of randomly numbered collectibles this company continues to force into its games. Trophy-wise, you've got 71 total, 70 bronze, and the platinum, and you've only got one goal here, to turn the difficulty option to very easy when you start the game, so you can avoid the entire rest of this genuinely awful game by jumping until you get the platinum. Seriously, Elantri, if and when you do eventually see this, just make the collectibles go in order and it wouldn't be nearly as bad. It's not that hard. Anyway, this is only going to take you about a minute or so to jump enough to get all 70 of the diamonds you need, so don't expect to take very long with this one. For reference, if you were to do it without turning the difficulty to very easy, you'd be looking at upwards of a half hour of absolute misery. So just turn it to that and get this out of the way.